Hey guys, this is Alexander the Game here, and welcome back to my Russia Let's Play in Darth Mod Napoleon. That sounded terrible. In Napoleon Total War Darth Mod. Excellent. Well, let's just get things started, and with things starting and all, I thought it would be a little bit of an idea to, I don't know, talk about something that happened recently. By recently, I mean like it was decently recent, but not quite that recent. And this event is YouTube monetizing mods. Not YouTube, sorry. Steam monetizing mods on the Steam Workshop. Now, they're being monetized mods because somebody could, cause this is what I see. I see somebody going on and playing just completed a couple games. I'll take an example of EU4. You just completed a couple games, no mods, completely standard, and you're looking for a little bit of changing things up. It might be only 5 cents a mod, but still, you pick up 6 mods, that's 30 cents right there. Say one of them doesn't work, you just wasted 5 cents on that. Or say some guy created this mod and it sounded awesome. It's like, oh yeah, you this mod lets you create your own customations, of course, before the whole thing about Nation Customizer happened, of course. And everyone would have been like, woo! That's awesome! Buy, 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 buy. Say he charges 10 cents per download. That's not much per person. But let's just say, in a week, 100 people download it. That's what, $10? Let's say this guy's mod didn't work. So he just made off with $10. His Steam account gets banned, but whatever. You go, you make an email, another email, whatever. Create another Steam account, create another bogus mod, or another $10, $20, whatever. Maybe we'll start making mods with a little bit of substance to them, and like make it seem like it does what it says it's supposed to do, but really it doesn't, and you make away with more, $100 maybe. I know a lot of people have said this, but this is what I think should have been done. They should have added a button, a donate button, a completely cost-free donate button. Because I mean, I'll give you an example. Like this Darth mod, it was created by Darth and Hussar Total War. I think they stopped making mods simply for the fact that they just couldn't really afford it anymore. They couldn't afford to sit there and put hundreds upon hundreds of hours into a mod and receive no paycheck at the end of the mod's release. So that's what I think. But I'll put a little bit of backing towards that. Furthermore, after they declared that they weren't going to be making any more Darth mods for Total War, Darth went and made Ultimate Generals Gettysburg. It made a decent amount of money there. But I think if there had been a button that people could have donated on Steam, they could have kept doing this. That could have been a decent amount of income they made. I mean, they had what? I'll get the statistics exactly next time, but Actually, let's see if we can do it. Browse workshop. I don't think we can do it from here, so whatever. But let's just say there is been a total of 1 million downloads of. Well, actually, you can't get Napoleon Total or Darth mod on it. So let's just take their numbers. Something like insane, like 10 million downloads or something like that on like ModDB and on like the Total War wiki and stuff. Or not wiki, but stuff. So let's just say they've had a total of 20 or 15 million downloads. Say every single person donated 10 cents. 10 million by 10 cents. That's what? $1 million. That's a lot of money. They may have put up quite a bit of time, maybe a year, 2 years, into developing the thing, but $1 million between the two of them, that's $500,000 each for their time. That's a lot of money. Granted, that's over time, but also granted, a lot of people wouldn't donate, but also people would donate more. I've watched people stream on Twitch, and people will donate like $100 to them. So I don't know. That's what I think. There should be a button that allows you to donate an open amount of money to the creator. It should be completely voluntary. There should be no referencing towards it or anything like that. That's what I think. Enough of that. Let us play this game. If at any point you hear a weird sound in the background, it's probably me drinking water. My water bottle has a really weird drinking mechanism on it. So, let's fight it because we can. And water because need to live. 2, I was just outside beating those. I said to my careers teacher in school, he asked us what we did on the weekend. I said, "Hell, I was breaking up a skid." He was like, "What? One of those stoners?" I was like, No. Platforms that the forklifts can put their teeth under to lift things up. One of those. We got 2 of those. I broke up one on the weekend, broke the other one up today. That was quite interesting. Probably can reduce the sound by a little bit. But yeah. Great story, I know. Just couldn't have enough of it. I know. I'm sorry for making you feel like you're missing out on something with this great life of mine or something. Okay, now let's get focused into the game. Russian artillery battery. Can we pull it up any further to be more on the ridge? There we go. How far out can they fire? To here, that means we have to draw them into this firing range. We'll use our light horse artillery to pull up to these fields here. Supporting them will be the Cossack cavalry. And seeing this is the main occupational point for our enemy's forces, two regiments of the Veterans Division will march on that point with support from elements of the Light Division. And on their flank, other elements of the Elite Division, the rest of the Elite Division, as well as one other veteran unit. The last prong will come from here. Our 2 columns, our 2 regiments of grenadiers formed up into 2 columns. Here in this location here will be the Ulan cavalry formed up in the gap. behind the artillery line will be the rest of the light division. Then this massive reinforcing corps here. Just this complete massive formation here of what's left of the armed forces. Kuditstov will be in position here on the flank of the Uhlans, and the Hussars will deploy here. Kuditstov has complete faith that this battle will just simply be a bloodbath. Nothing more, nothing less. Thus, he does not expect to need to commit even nearly all of his forces. He's only deploying so many forces because he's seen what the Ottomans are capable of in other fights, where it's believed that they're hopelessly outnumbered and hopelessly out of position, and hopelessly out-deployed. So this time, Gustav is just being careful, deploying his extensivist Cossack cavalry to defend the light artillery, which he will then use to try and pry the enemy out of position. Oh, that's great. This is really annoying. My light corps here will run up to positions there. This troop will form up position there with support from the Uhlan squadrons. The two great grenadier columns will now advance as well. The Russian guns, their 6-pounder foot artillery on the ridge here, are opening fire. For now, the 6-pounder heavy Russian guns, the 6-pounder heavy class Russian cannons have been doing good enough for what's needed to be done. But quite possibly soon, the Ottomans might field something that might frighten the Russians into thinking that they require heavy guns, possibly legitimately frightening them, doing something as silly as bringing heavier guns to the fight and just defeating the enemy's the Russians' artillery placement. But for now it's fine. And for now the enemy is melee rushing my skirmishers, forcing them into immediate withdrawal. But the swordmen have taken some losses and are now rushing towards the forming up Russian infantry, where they will be butchered. The Kemet Janissaries will granted throw themselves valiantly into them and cause fairly significant damage, but they will be utterly destroyed in the end due to their incapability of fighting melee combat efficiently with Russian troops and this really weird charge that they're attempting to do that is getting them all butchered, as is evidently being seen, and they have now been shown off. Between artillery and musket volleys, the Grenadier column, the first one, has suddenly come under fire unexpectedly. Enemy forces, some Belyak Janissaries start firing on them, Some armed populace started marching on them, but they have been thrown back for the most part. The last of the enemy's center is now being shot up, and all artillery pieces are to halt firing at will. What's in melee combat with these guys? What's killing them? Oh, because they opened a volley when you were right there. That's no good. They did a fair bit of damage considering. All things considered. Oh great. Some armed populace is coming. Almost 500 of them. The Russian grenadiers formed square on the flank, opened fire into them, sending them back, as well as still firing to the troops in their front. Coming under fire one flank of the square, as well as the ranks of grenadiers from them. The enemy's forces have taken painful losses getting to this point, and then messing it up by not standing and firing and giving the Russians time to reload and potentially empty a point-blank volley into the charging enemy infantry. Unfortunately for the enemy, the Russians had not gone to the... Oh! Never mind, the Russians did get a chance to open a point-blank volley, probably killing 20 men with that volley. Point-blank range. For the most part, sending the enemy into a rout. The armed populace now attacking the double square formation that was being set up by the Pulaski Grenadiers and the veteran Grenadiers. The charge broke through the initial ring of the Grenadiers and would have sawed through the square had the Pulaskis not formed an inner wall behind them and given the Grenadiers a place to rally to. As well as the Pulaskis received the same treatment on the other flank by the Grenadiers on that flank. Losses comparative to the fact that the entire flank was busted open were small. These Belyak Janissaries are stubbornly staying in the fight, slowly being killed by harrowing volleys from the front. More infantry forming up here to attack. The Belyak Janissaries finally leaving the field of battle. These guys took a volley from something. I need to be more mindful with my cavalry. That'd probably help keeping them alive. But I'm never very good at microwaving my cavalry, so. By the end of the Ottoman campaign, this army will be super veteran. A little over 400 line infantry stand in face of about 120 lancers. The lancers getting the charge in and killing the enemy's general, but not making much headway elsewise. Though they are quickly draining the morale of their enemies, it is not enough to send our enemies away. The armed populace has rallied and is attacking the flank of the Grenadiers, throwing them into disarray, with the bulk of them withdrawing, leaving a small pocketed group in the melee with them. But the moment that the enemy's forces rallied, or the Russian forces rallied and attacked the armed populace, they shattered with their full force. Now the Grenadier line, as well as the remaining Uhlans, have started charging into the last of the enemy's infantry in preparation to send it packing. And the last of the enemy's infantry is being cut down and butchered in melee as we are speaking. Yeah, that's the end of the battle. The clever Ottomans. We lost 618 men, defeating the 2,200 garrison at that city. We could liberate the Principality of Wallachia, Bucharest, but no. Yeah, actually, you know what? We will liberate them. What do we get? We got some line infantry. Wallachia, Bucharest. They're a client state of mine, which is fine. Cool. Pretty much the objective of this is to form a buffer with the Austrians so they don't get any ideas of invading my new holdings. And of course, to attack, they will either have to attack across this bridge here, which would force them to bring in any substantial army well beyond this point, and leaving their forces open as well as their capital to attack. Attacking over this river, we'll be engaging the main army, and they could go down here, come here, but we'd be in position to stop them by that point. So, not really the best to plan. Soon the second army will be capable of fighting. This army will want to return to the city to replenish its men and change out any non-veteran artillery for 12-pounders. To be honest, they will be far better. 12-pounder long guns. Opportunity to intercept. Sure, we'll take it. Some Delhi Lancers, some 18-pounders, and some archers. Looks like fun! Episode short. And then come back. Once this map loads up, I'll end this episode and come back with the battle. Thankfully, we're attacking over a river. This is no good. But, see you guys next time. It's Alexander the Gamer, and I hope you have a nice day.